Hello, all of you GGs out there in the world. I am MegaAmpster. Thank you for being here. If you're new here, hey, welcome to the channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you're a returning viewer, always thank you so much for the continuous support. Really means a lot to me. I had to make a video talking about this because this is a little bit old. It was originally posted almost a week ago, and then it resurfaced, I think, after it was deleted or something like that. But the reason why we're here, this is very important, right, is apparently at some point there was some leaked footage that got released on Twitter. I learned my lesson last time from Suicide Squad, so I'm not going to do it here. I'm not going to be showing any like actual video footage here. There might be some screenshots here and there. SEGA, please don't do anything in this video, please. But there was a new footage. I forget where it came from. It might have been like an investors meeting, but it was from a little bit ago that showed supposedly Persona 3 remake footage, which has been rumored for a little bit now. This is from Gamatsu, as well as Jet Set Radio, a potential new game or remake. I don't know if we know. Which also kind of goes along with some rumors that have been kind of flying in the background for the last 1 to 2 years. And as well, the footage had some Sonic Frontiers beta footage, which seems to line up with some stuff that we'll kind of go through here. So, main thing being, I mean, obviously, you know me, you know the soundtrack, you know the hat. Jet Set Radio is the focus for me, and it'd be such a cool thing to have a game after almost, it's been, 20 years since Future? So, hell yeah, it's been a while. But Persona 3 Remake is also in here. So, according to Gamatsu here, there was a video reel showcasing it. It is on Twitter. I will try to link that in the description below. I'm not going to show it here, just to be safe, like I said. But it shows what appears to be a work-in-progress footage of a Persona 3 remake and a new Jet Set Radio title that surfaced online. Yeah, this was on April 4th, so I am like 6 days late. But then I guess it was taken down, but came back up. Okay. Reportedly from 2 years ago, showing in-development footage. So the fact that it was 2 years ago could mean anything. But yeah, the Sonic Frontiers one was interesting because the footage actually, it was legit footage that showed like it was on the first Kronos Island from what it looks like. The caterpillar enemy was there though, because I know there were rumors and stuff, and I think in the art book, correct me if I'm wrong, confirmed this, where originally, you know, Kronos Island was one much bigger island. You know, there's like Rhea and Oranos at the end, and apparently they were all one thing at one point. And then they just split them off later. I don't know if it's because they rushed and didn't have enough time to fully flesh out other themes for islands. Because you know how it felt a little weird that like those three had pretty much the same foresty theme, but apparently they were all one island at one point. And this showed some footage of like the caterpillar enemy that I believe only showed up in Oranos was in the Kronos Island area. We saw, was it Giganto? Is that the boss's name? The first boss, supersonic boss in the game. So it was like legit footage, and then they had it combined with the Persona 3 supposed remake. I'm showing one of the characters from Persona 3 wielding a bow, and Jet Set Radio, though it was a very, very tiny look. The footage was weird for Jet Set Radio. It looked like a Just Dance game. Like, I looked at that footage and I said, that looks like Just Dance with a code of Jet Set Radio, and I was like, I'm not a fan of this. It was Beat doing the little dancing animation, but it wasn't the same as the one from, like, the OG game. So it was a little weird, and it felt a little stiff, but, I mean, it was a work in progress, supposedly, and I'm sure it would be. Even if this rumor wasn't true, it still would totally be a work in progress for sure. But apparently, Persona 3 Remake has been in development at Atlas for several years, and a domain name was spotted, a potential domain name, I should say, p3re.jp, which is registered to the same domain provider as Persona 5 Royal, which we see is the p5r.jp, which is the Japanese site for Persona 5 Royal here. Ooh, I like that. That's a cool little site there. But supposedly, it could be a potential domain name. It was registered on March 15th, 2023, so just under a month ago. Jet Set Radio footage is in line with alleged artwork, which I will say, apparently, I missed this last year's. SEGA Bits reports receiving the same image back in July of 2022. If we look here, this is the artwork that's being shown off. SEGA, like I said, don't do it. This artwork I like more than the footage that was shown. Beats looking cool, Gum looking cute as always. And who is this? I'm trying to think. Could that be... What's his face with the boombox? No, I don't... See, that might be an original character. Honestly, that looks closer to like a jacked up, like a beefed up Beady Joe from Crazy Taxi, which supposedly Crazy Taxi is also in the works. That's a whole other story that we're not going to talk much about here, but that might just be a brand new character. But if this artwork is anything to go by, that looks kind of cool. Like you can see here, Sega Betsia had more interesting here. July of 2022. So this tweet was actually from yesterday. But they said in July 2022, we had seen a series of Jet Set Radio images leaked from a survey gauging the interest of various art styles, which I know Sega was sending out surveys about, oh, what IPs would you like us to revisit? And Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi were on those lists of surveys they've been doing for the last few years. Don't want to share those. They were watermarked to the specific person. Okay. And this is one that, so this specific image leaked from an individual, but I think they're just showing a side-by-side of like real-life Shibuya, comparing that to the background here, which, yeah, it seems to be the case. And I think I'm 90% sure we've seen Shibuya. We've literally seen Shibuya in Jet Set Radio before, so that's not a surprise, but I love that artwork. This artwork looks sick. The footage was a little stiff, but I won't be showing that here just to be safe. So there's a lot of people corroborating this. Here's the artwork again. Back in April 2022, so just a year ago, Bloomberg had reported that Sega was developing big-budget reboots of its Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi franchises. And I believe this was... okay, so this is weird. I believe at the time this was this whole super game. Yeah, here we go. 2 titles which would have been released in 2 to 3 years would be the first entries in the Super Game Initiative. Released in 2 to 3 years, so that would be like 2024, 2025. The initiative is an effort to develop recurring revenue sources and build online communities. So the weird thing is that apparently they're developing big-budget reboots of these series in pursuit of global hits like Fortnite. That's the part that I don't get. So would these games be connected? I don't think I ever talked about the Super Game thing last year. At the time, I just didn't want to talk about it. There's other stuff to talk about, but if this is true, which honestly I wouldn't be surprised, take everything with a grain of salt here, but things seem to be adding up behind the scenes. And you know how Sega is not the best when it comes to keeping secrets of stuff. We known about Sonic Origins Plus. We knew, I think we knew about Banana Mania before it was announced. But yeah, supposedly these would be connected somehow. Development environment built on Microsoft's Azure Cloud Platform, which I believe there was an announcement last year, the year before. Oh, sorry, here we go. Okay, November 2021. Yes, they aligned with Microsoft using their Azure-based platform. Supposedly for the Super Game Initiative. So, this is interesting. If it means that we're going to get one connected Sega world, hey, I'd be down for that. As long as it doesn't involve NFTs or crypto or any of that shit, then we're good. But, I don't know what this could mean. I mean, Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi makes sense. Those two are just very thematically aligned. And it would be cool to see those crossover somehow. But obviously, there have been reports and rumors coming back and left and right and kind of, filling in the gaps here. So I think I'm inclined to believe this is all real. Just to go back here, as for the Sonic Frontiers footage, yeah, the Caterpillar enemy showcased in the footage has a different moveset in the game. Yeah, so it was slightly different, but it matches up what was shown in the concept artwork from the... Oh, this is the digital art book. So here we go. Caterpillar design here matched up with the concept. Yes, okay. So apparently, yeah. So see, this is what they're saying. The Caterpillar enemy, which appears in Oranos Island in the final game, looked like in the art book. And this is a still of the clip taken from that beta footage, that reel of Sega games, and it's matching up with, yeah, you can see the design there. It matches up with what was in the art book. So I agree with this person. I don't know why, but that Jet Set Radio footage is very unsettling and creepy. I agree. Easily fakeable, but yeah, it definitely could be fakeable, but the artwork looks sick. I feel like we've heard so many rumblings about this. Unless this gets scrapped, which Sega, don't you dare. I'm inclined to believe this is all real. But who knows? Who's to say? Only time will tell, right? Again, the authenticity of the footage itself is still unclear, but Gamatsu understands that a Persona 3 remake is planned at the various... So that is an interesting one. That's interesting because there's been rumblings about a Persona 3 remake being a thing for a little while now. Has it been a year yet? Maybe not a full year. Which is interesting considering they just fairly recently re-released Persona 3 on multiple platforms along with Persona 4. So in which case, if I would ever try Persona 3, if the remake comes out, I'd obviously get that before I would get the original version. But I know there are some issues with Persona 3 in terms the portable versus the... Oh, what's the other version called? Let me know in the comments below. Is it Fez? Something like that? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. I could be completely butchering that, but who's to say, we don't know for sure that any of this would be real. This is the video. I'm not going to display it like I said, just to be safe. But supposedly, yeah, there's been so many reports here and there, and with this leaked footage, I think this just kind of, I don't want to say confirms that this is real, but it's looking more and more likely. So honestly, like, as a massive SEGA fan and a massive Jet Set Radio fan, I mean, I've got the poster in the back. You can't see now. There you go. Look at that. Beautiful. I'm definitely excited. It's tough because obviously the SEGA we know now is not the same company that produced these games. Jet Set Radio Future, the last game in the series, is 20 years old, right? It might even be 21. It was 2002? I have to look that up. But it's not the same company. So there's a very easy chance they could butcher this, and that this super game thing ends up being very forced and unnecessary, and it just ends up not being a good game. The footage was a little weird looking. Beat was a little lanky looking, but it was a work in progress, so who knows. But the artwork, I mean, this artwork, man. I just want to look this artwork for a long last time. Where's the artwork? That looks sick. I love this. I want this as like a print or like a banner or something. That's so cool. And then Persona 3 Remake, I mean, we'll see, but there's been like all these rumors in the background that kind of just seem to align here. In the meantime, if you want a Jet Set Radio-like game that is, I don't want to say guaranteed to be good, but almost certainly going to be good, check out Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. The developers, Team Reptile, are behind the Lethal League games, and they've been working on that game, and it looks like it's going to be a very faithful, not recreation, but like a very faithful kind of spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio. And it also adds like some Tony Hawk elements and shit, like with the bikes and skateboards and stuff you can use too, not just like skates, which is super cool. It looks like that's going to be really good. And that's supposedly coming out this summer. I don't know if they've delayed it at all or anything, and they haven't fully announced an actual release date, but supposedly it's coming sometime this year. It's gotten delayed a year or two, but it looks like it's going to be really good. If you want a Jet Set Radio game in that style too, it's the same art style as the original and Future. If you're looking for a game in that style, I would highly recommend picking up Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. It's a bit of a mouthful when it comes out. Very much looking forward to that this year. That's like my indie go-to for the year. Assuming it comes out this year. I think it will, but who knows when. But hey, if this is real, as a Jet Set Radio fan, I am super duper happy. Persona 3 Remake would be really cool too. You know, I know a lot of people really appreciate that game, and it seems like there have been, like I said, there's two different versions of the game. There's the portable version, which some people say isn't as good, and then there's the other version, which people, I don't know, it's very back and forth, like seems pretty divided. But if they could maybe, I don't know if they will, but if they could combine all the best features of both versions into the one remake, I think Persona fans would probably be very happy. Let me know in the comments below if you'd be happy with that, and if you're looking forward to this. Also, let me know if you looked forward to a current SEGA Jet Set Radio. No idea what it would look like or what it would be. Supposedly like this, and it looks a little interesting, but we'd have to see it in motion. Let me know what your thoughts are on this in the comments below. If you think this is real, this could be completely fake. I think where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's been so many different reports about these individual games and other games, and now this leaked footage. And with the whole Sonic Frontiers artwork confirmation, I think this is, honestly, I think this is pretty much legit. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, though. And hey, otherwise, I will catch you all in the next video live stream. Here's hoping, SEGA fans, that SEGA's bringing back their old stuff and remaking some of the good games. We'll have to see what happens, though. Until then, take care.